Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Let's make sure that you can hear me. Let's make sure that you can hear me. Let's see. Good morning, everyone. What is going on? Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So you can hear me for sure. You can hear me. Awesome. And it sounds so good. I love my new microphone. I love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. So this morning, I won't be before you for too long, but I want to talk to you about in-laws, right? So this week, we're discussing everything marriage, and I want to talk to you about your in-laws, all right? So marital problems. Yesterday, what did we talk about? I don't know. I can't remember what we talked about yesterday, but today we're talking about, I think yesterday we talked about transparency, right? Transparency. And today we're talking about in-laws, all right? In-laws. I hope you brought your questions, your comments, but I'm excited to talk about in-laws. It's such a delicate topic, the dynamics between spouses and their in-laws. It varies from culture to culture, right? It varies personally, and it has to do with your family setup, the way your family is set up. But there are certain positive principles that really should govern your interactions. Okay, they should govern your interactions with your spouse. So I want to jump in and talk about those things quickly. Please share the broadcast. Let me take a moment and share the broadcast myself, because I believe this will bless the life of someone. But it's so important that we as in-laws, or you as an in-law, learn to deal with your family. All right. It's crucial to learn to deal with your family, with your husband's family, or with your wife's family. But again, there are things that may seem specific to you or by culture, but overall, there are positive things and interactions that need to be clear. All right. Number one is respect. Respect cuts across culture. Respect is crucial, is important. Is important. Respect cuts across culture. All right. You have to respect anybody you come in contact with. Your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your sisters-in-law, your uncles, anyone you come in contact with. If you don't struggle with respect, you're not gonna have an issue with your in-laws. All right. So show respect to your in-laws, just like you would respect your own family, your own parents. Do respect their opinions and their traditions and any boundaries that they have set. All right. Understand that when you're dating someone from a different culture, you need to be mindful of their cultural expectations. Okay. So let's say you are a white person, a Caucasian who decided to marry into the Ghanaian culture. It goes beyond I married a black man, right? It goes beyond it's a black man. It goes beyond that and jumps into the cultural aspect of being Ghanaian. Does that make sense? We're seeing a lot of multicultural, biracial, children, more multicultural families. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe somebody from India is marrying somebody from China or from Nigeria. Whatever the situation, you need to be mindful of the cultural expectations. There's something we call in social work, we call it cultural competency. A lot of times, maybe you meet a social worker or you meet a doctor who doesn't know about your belief system, or whether you're African, you know, uh, or maybe is a you're a Jehovah Witness, or you're, there are things that are specific to you, whether it's religion based or whether it's cultural. Like there's some people that don't accept blood, you know, whatever it is. If the doctor doesn't know that, they will try to fight you on it. If you say I refuse infusions, you know, they have to know, they have to be culturally competent to understand that this is a cultural matter, and that they can pressure you, they can push it because the cultural matter. Does that make sense? I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm saying that you have to be aware of other cultures that you're engaged with naturally and specifically in your marriage. You cannot in good conscience marry outside your culture and expect things to be the way your culture operates. You have to be willing to learn how the other culture also does things. In fact, when you're dating, you have to observe your spouse and observe the dynamic that is present with your spouse and their family. A lot of people, they like to ask questions and not watch. You need to watch and observe. You know, observations are really your best friends when you're trying to get married. You know, what do you do? What are your cultural practices? Well, watch the practices. When you go visit them, see what they do, see how they interact. You know, there are people that you connect with, especially women do this a lot. Women do this a lot. You connect with a man and you want to become the man's everything. It doesn't work like that. You need to watch the relationship that man has with his family. This may be a man who is very connected to their sisters. You know, like I know one of my brothers in particular, he was very close to his sisters. And so if you're a woman who wants to put him against his sisters, you're going to lose the battle, because he was very connected to us. I say was because things have changed over the years, right? But he was initially very connected to his sisters. So if you're a woman who wants attention, who wants to be the all and be all, it's going to be a problem. And he actually managed that very well. He didn't allow his relationship with his sisters to be affected by the wife. He did very well with that. He knew when to come in. He didn't pick sides. He didn't get, in the mix of drama. He was able to maintain himself and make sure that he made it very clear. I love you, but I love my sisters. I love you, but I love my mother. That was very clear. And I think he's one of the few people that I know who did very well with that dynamic. All right. So respect goes a long way. Just respect people. Don't come in there and try to disrupt their lives. We don't do that, right? Communication is important across all types of relationships. Communication is crucial. You talk to your spouse, you talk to your kids, you talk to your in-laws. How you communicate with your in-laws is important. See, a lot of people, what they do is they want to become best friends with their in-laws. Let me explain something to you. Boundaries are boundaries, and boundaries are there to protect you. Boundaries are there to protect you. A lot of people mix the boundaries. They blur the lines. When you blur the lines, it gets really shady. When you blur the lines, you mess with the nature of your relationship. I'm going to be honest. Don't blur the lines, okay? So your mother-in-law is not your best friend. So certain discussions we don't have with our mother-in-laws. I don't care how cool your mother-in-law is. She's not your friend. Your sister-in-law is your sister-in-law. Don't blur the boundaries. Start talking about your husband to your sister-in-law. We don't do that. Start talking about your wife to your sister-in-law. We don't do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're your family. They're not your friends. So a lot of people go overboard and become so buddy-buddy with the sister-in-law, the brother-in-law. And then when there's an issue, all of that goes out the window. We don't blur the lines, okay? We do not blur the lines. You got to be very careful when you're connecting and creating relationships with the opposite the other family member. There's a comment. Yes. Boundaries are so crucial. Listen, when it comes to respect, you have to respect cultural boundaries as well. All right. So maybe you go hang out with your husband in the family house. When you get up in the morning, you're wearing booty cracking shorts. Hear me when I say this. You're not cool. You're not comfortable. You're disrespectful. Did you hear that? You're gonna have to take this snippet. Take this snippet and post it online on TikTok or something. Okay, you go visit the family. It's Thanksgiving. You go there. You wake up in the morning, and instead of wearing pajamas, you're wearing the shorts you wear when you're hanging out with your husband. That little tank top with your nipples showing and all of that. Yeah, that's for your husband. So you don't wake up in the morning and have these booty cracking shorts and then cross your legs and sit on the dinner table. You're having breakfast while your in-laws are uncomfortable. You're disrespectful. Okay? So that's what we mean when we're talking about cultural boundaries. Some things are not acceptable. Then you're kissing and making out in front of your in-laws. Disrespectful. You want to become the topic of the family. Is that what you think you will do? Then they're never going to be okay with you making out in front of them, making out in front. No, they don't want to see you kiss their daughter. They don't want to see you kiss their son. No, absolutely not. I mean, a little tap kiss here and there is fine, but don't go making out in front of them. Disrespectful. Rubbing on them and carrying on in front of your in-laws. Please don't do that. You're watching TV, you can sit next to them, but please don't get all touchy-feely doing all of that in front of your in-laws. Disrespectful. It's cultural boundaries. We don't do that. Some cultures is acceptable. Especially in the Western world, those things are okay. It's not done. It's not done in a lot of cultures. Afro-Caribbean cultures, they don't appreciate that. Okay? Communication, don't make assumptions. Just ask questions. Always ask questions like, okay, when I went over there, this person made this comment. Hey, babe, what was that? What was I supposed to do? Like, you can't be a woman. You go for family. They're all cooking in the kitchen. Then you're sitting in the couch. They expect you to be in the kitchen. Even if you don't know how to cook, stay with them. Go stand there too. Don't tell yourself, well, your mom is coming. What are we going to order? No, don't be ordering nothing. If you don't know how to cook, find a way. Or maybe they all understand you can't cook what we want. Okay, then let's order something prior to them coming. Don't wait till they come. Now you're scrambling to go find something. These are cultural expectations and cultural boundaries. These are cultural expectations. The goal is that the in-laws are not going to come and frustrate your wife. Go cook this for me. Go do this. You're not, and then come in. You don't sit there for your in-laws to come and talk down at your wife. If your wife, let's say, cannot make the cultural food, don't sit and allow them to disrespect her. That too, we don't do. So as a man, you take your position, let it be known. Look, is there something you want to eat? I will order it for you because my wife doesn't make benku and abenkwang. If you didn't hear it, it's not for you. My wife doesn't make all of that curry chicken. And so do you want curry chicken? Because I can get some. If you're okay too, we have spaghetti and things, and we have things that are simple. We have rice and stew. Are you okay with it? Open communication. There's nothing wrong with her not knowing your cultural food. You can teach or you can just order. So don't allow your family to disrespect your wife, and you too, the wife too, don't sit there like you don't have anywhere, you don't know how to mingle. Mingle with them if they are cooking, learn. Again, it's extra credit for you if you're able to learn. You're going into the culture knowing that, an African man likes his food. Just know that, okay? He made the choice knowing that he might end up with pizza. So both of you, Nobody's at fault because both of you are coming in knowing I'm not going to make benku and tilapia. And he's also coming in knowing I might end up with pizza. So what you do is you agree some way, somehow to come up with a decision. Maybe you will learn to cook. Maybe you will agree on certain things, simple meals, something. But if the man is like, look, I'm okay with sandwiches, then that's what you handle the sandwich. Nobody should be offended. Everybody should be clear what they're getting themselves into. When I was in college, we used to hang out with these guys from Ghana, and they were all married to my beautiful white Caucasian girls, right? All of them. You know, our sisters from another mother, they were married to them. And guess what? The guys will come and hang out, not with the sisters. Do you see? They came to hang out because they wanted to eat some soup. They came to hang out. It's funny because they know they couldn't do without the food. So I used to ask them, why did you go marry somebody that can't feed you? Right? Because you will say, oh, it's not about food, but it's about food because you're in my house every day. You want to eat. So at some point we told them, when you come, we'll order pizza. I said that to laugh, but I said, when you come to my house, we'll order pizza. I'm not cooking soup for you. You understand what I'm saying? Because they want the food, but they love the women as well. So there was nothing wrong with the fact that they went for the women. But I think something better would have been, hey, I want you, I love you. Can we learn to cook something? There's nothing wrong with that. It's when we talk about love language, that's one of the surprises. You can surprise your spouse. All of a sudden, you're making jollof, and your husband is looking at you like, hey, jollof, really? It's okay. This is all part of communication. You learn to agree. So when you go the other way, understand that you are going knowing that you might not eat fufu. So you can't go and pressure the woman to go make fufu for you. You knew she wasn't making fufu. Do you see? So your in-laws should not come and pressure her. Neither should she also sit and act like, I don't care. Do you understand? So it's really a matter of understanding. Here's the other thing. A lot of women, I'm talking to women today. I'm going to talk to men as well, but I see this a lot with women. When you marry the man, again, don't let you cannot be the all in all. Okay. So as an in-law, the best tip I've given and the best tip that has worked for me in the past 11 plus years is that of being with my husband is that we don't compete with the family. I don't want to there's no competition at all. Because what I can do for him, nobody in that family can do for him. So there's no competition whatsoever. I'm very secured where I stand. I know my position and I play it very well. And I'm also not concerned how they feel. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I'm not concerned if you don't like me. Because, the reality is sometimes you will do all you can do. But if the mother has somebody they want to give their son, right? The mother is usually the mothers. They have a woman they want to give their son. Or maybe the sister feels like my friend will be so good for my brother. I'm not concerned. That's not my problem. That's not my business. Because the brother doesn't want that woman, that friend, that whatever. I don't care. So I may be aware of these things. I may be aware of how they feel. But my job is not to get you to love me the same. No, I can't buy you out. There are some women that go in there, they're buying bags, they're buying this, listen, I can do all of that and I've done it. But my job is not to get you to fall in love with me. No. My job is to not bring havoc in the home. I don't want disruption. I don't want any arguments. So guess what? In the past 11 years, I've not argued not once with any of my husband's family members. None. Even when they brought the argument, I looked at them. I had nothing to say. Do you understand? I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. Because a curse without a cause cannot stand. A curse without a cause will never stand. So no curse spoken has worked in my life. Because guess what? There is no cause. I've done them no harm. In the realms of the spirit, when you curse somebody, in the realms of the spirit, there's a court of law. There's a court of law. I've taught here. I've said it before. They have to look. When you go to the juju man has to look in the glass and say, she has done something. Hey, she spoke to you that way. But see, when you come at me, I won't speak to you that way. I will say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. In fact, I apologize on behalf of my husband. That is most of the involvement I involve in this family. The most of the involvement has been, oh, please, mommy, don't be upset. It's okay. Oh, I will talk to him. Yeah, I will talk to him. That's been most of my involvement. But me, say a word, you lie bad, you won't get me. You will never get me. Because I recognize you need a cause. I recognize you need a cause. So I boldly say this: no curse can ever and will ever stand against me. And nothing, I don't incite them. I don't bring any evil feeling or any negative feelings in them, because I mind my business. I play my role. They can look at me and think, oh, she's the reason why he's not giving this, he's not giving that. But this is where they are all wrong. Okay? They are completely wrong. In fact, I'm the reason there's a giving. So that's the thing. People, they play their role wrong. They play their role very wrong. You see, you don't fight. There's some people you don't fight. You don't fight your in-law. You don't fight your daughter-in-law. Because there's something women can do to men you don't understand. We don't fight daughter-in-laws. We don't fight sister-in-laws. We just don't fight them. And then for the women also, the daughters, we don't fight mother-in-laws. Do you understand? We don't fight mother-in-laws. We may never be able to please them, but we don't fight them. Do you understand what I mean? So as a daughter-in-law, play your role well. Respect your mother-in-law. Treat her so well. Give her what she needs. Give her what she needs. And most of the time, it's just respect. Honor them. I always say, I honor my mother-in-law more than I honored my mother. And I'm telling you, my mother was okay with it. Because my mother was the mother-in-law every daughter-in-law wants. My mother was the best mother-in-law I know. She never gave any of our sister-in-laws problem. Never. You go into some homes, the woman becomes like lion, lioness, tiger. My mother was never that. My mother's a tough woman, but she had a lot of girls. She loved the girls. She loved the women. She would go and stay there and take care of their kids. Even with the disrespect, she was there for them. She was there for them. My mother was a good woman. So I learned I have to treat my mother-in-law the same way. Even though I saw my mom go through disrespect, I did the opposite. I learned very early that I don't need to buy my mother-in-law, but I do have to respect her. And I can tell you, out of her own mouth, she said, I have no negative thing to say about you. I have nothing to say. That's what she said out of her mouth. I don't know her heart, but that's what she said out of her mouth. I have no negative thing towards you. I'm not here to tweak my own horn. I'm telling you, what it took was for me to mind my business, for me to not try to be God in their lives, for me to be controlling. Don't control. And keep encouraging. Take care of them. Give them what they need. In fact, I will stand in and say, any gifts you want me to give, we agree, we give it together. I'm never against anything he wants to do for them. Never. Don't cause your husband to make a decision. Don't put him between a rock and a hard place. Don't cause him to have to decide. That's not right. We don't do that. Don't be a woman who is so petty that you're constantly wanting attention. Oh, why are you going to your mother? Why are you going to your sister? Why? No, don't nag. There's no blessing in it. Don't give them a cause to hate you. You can hate me, all right? I don't have a problem with you hating me. But when you don't have a cause, I can sleep at peace. So the plot can come. It's not going to touch me. I'm telling you this. That's the secret. Spiritually speaking, the curse can come. It's not going to work. It's not going to prosper. Because I owe you nothing. I gave you my all and even more. When you don't accept my gift, you don't accept my all, it has nothing to do with me. That's you and your God. Do you hear me? Make the boundaries very clear. Don't go telling your whole business. Here's another boundary. Don't be telling the family about what your husband has done. Oh, I'm going to go tell your mother. I'm going to go tell your father. Please don't do it. Did you hear what I said? The number one boundary you set is don't wash your dirty laundry with them. Don't go to your in-laws and go wash your dirty laundry because you think, I'm going to tell your sister about what you're doing. And what is your sister going to do? You think that man will listen to the sister, eh? Find a way to speak to them without going to wash all of your dirty laundry out there. They will laugh at you. They will be excited for what is happening to you. Don't go tell your own family members about your spouse. You tell your family about your wife, they will disrespect your wife from the beginning to the end. And there's nothing you can do. Because you went and told them your wife is not clean, your wife doesn't cook, you're the one who went and complained about your wife to them. You opened the door to disrespect. The things that we do that create a gap and give access to our homes. This is what I'm telling you right now. Don't give either side of the family advantage over your spouse. Over your spouse. Let me tell you, for 9 years, if you haven't read my book, this is a good time to read my book. For 9 years, 9 whole years, I didn't call either side of the family to come and sit and talk about what's going on with me, my husband. We didn't do that for 9 years. On the 9th year, when the enemy attacked, the enemy came at us on so many levels to attack our marriage. It never worked because God always found a way to put us together. I'm telling you, the power of agreement, covenant speaks. And we didn't even know that we were living by the covenant. Let me put it that way. We were not aware of a covenant. We were just in agreement. The power of agreement was so strong, and it's so strong in our marriage that even when things are bad, we can't disagree. It's so crazy. I'm telling you, it's so crazy. So the purpose of our marriage, the scripture that we stand by in our marriage is Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? We agree on everything. And I explained to you when I said we agree on everything, it doesn't mean we don't disagree. But we agree that we're going to disagree. Do you understand what I'm saying? We agree that we have different tastes. We agree that we cook differently. We agree that that's an agreement in itself. So I can't fight you to decorate the house because I don't decorate. We agree that I'm not going to come and decorate. You can, you understand? And we agree that we don't have the same taste. It's an agreement. We agree on everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, we agree on it. So when the enemy came to attack us on our 9th marriage, I'm going to tell you, the Lord gave me the privilege to hear. I heard clearly. I heard the plot of the enemy, like the way I'm speaking to you. And the conversation was clear. The only way we will get them is to cause them to disagree. I heard that very clearly. This is not a dream. This is not a vision. It was a conversation. And I was sitting here listening to people conversate. They were not sitting next to me. I don't know where they were, but I was hearing this in the realms of the spirit. I was so honored that God allowed me, opened my ears to hear. And the conversation was clear that we needed to disagree. And you know what? That is what happened to my marriage. The day we disagreed, that was the day that attack came. So if you haven't read my book, you need to go read it. I said I was going to come here and share my story. I will one day. So even if you haven't read the book, you will at least know what happened in my marriage and what God did to save that marriage. What God did. That's my testimony. My husband says he wants to tell the story with me, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for him to come over here and pop in here, you know. It's coming though. It's coming. He wants to join me on this endeavor, but we'll see what the Lord says. Are you hearing me this morning? The power of agreement, where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. We agree so much that the enemy sat and plotted. No weapon formed against you. What do we say? The weapons are formed according to what? Your weakness, as it's formed according to your strength. So they saw, how can we? Because that's what the demons, that's how they operate. How can we really get them? How can we get these people? Let's cause them to disagree. And that is what happened. So they sit back and they plan and they plot and they plotted. The only way we will get this family, the only way we will get this couple is if they disagree. Because I'm telling you, even when I don't want it, I agree. When he doesn't want it, he agrees. Because listen, we just have to agree on something. And I will talk more about the power of agreement later. But for today, agree with your spouse. Agree to give to your in-laws. Agree to mind your business. Like, I don't talk to my husband about, oh, your sister did this, your mother did. No. If he wants to come talk, I'm all ears. I'm listening. I'm all ears. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. I've had to mediate. Not with them, on my own. Hey, don't be upset with this. It's okay. Let this go. You need to forgive. I've had to do it on my own. Just like he had to step in and say, your family, make sure you know how to work with them. Make sure you do this. And he helped me a lot to deal with my family and how to heal from the things that they've done to me. So he helps me and I help him. We agree to help each other. Do you understand? Don't step in there and try to control. Don't go give this to your mother. Why are you giving money? What? No, please. Please. It's simple. What I said is simple. I didn't come with a sword. I just came to tell you a word to the wise. Be wise, oh. Don't go fighting, oh. The demons in your family are fighting you. You want the demons from his family to fight you too. Please, oh. What kind of life do you want to live where attacks everywhere? Hey, they will attack anyway. But please, don't give them a cause. That is the tip. That is the trick. Don't give them a cause. If at all possible, be at peace with all men. That's biblical. Be at peace with them. Even when they do things that are wrong, don't talk back. No, don't talk back. Get on your knees. It's amazing what God will show you when you get on your knees. Pray. Learn to appreciate them. Some of you, your mother-in-law came to live with you and you turned her into a housemaid. The biggest mistake people can make, your mother-in-law comes and lives there. When your mother-in-law comes to live there, it's for your children, oh. It's not for you. And neither is it for your husband. Your mother-in-law has come for the children. Put that in your head. Or if you don't want her to be struggling with the children, let her stay there in peace. My husband, doesn't like to eat from anybody. Does that make sense? I have to cook for my husband. So I can't sit and say, oh, my mother-in-law is cooking. She's cooking for my husband. Why? So don't break boundaries and then be upset later. Don't create an environment where you become the problem. Even if I have a housemaid, she's not there to feed my husband. That's the mistake a lot of people make. You let people do things that you're supposed to do. Then you get upset. So now she can go talk and say, oh, she doesn't cook. You can't tell me I don't cook. I cook in my house. You are welcome to also cook. Join me in the kitchen. Please join me in the kitchen. But I know my husband wants to eat from me. My mother will come. She used to come and she will cook. And it's not that she doesn't know how to cook. It's that he wants to eat my food. So unless I just gave birth and it's a little difficult for me to go, he won't touch the food. So usually before I go into the hospital, I cook and I freeze. I freeze food. Oh, hey, he can cook. He cooked for himself. This time around when I gave birth, I didn't have to, he's the one who cooked for months on end. Because I ended up sick when I was pregnant with my child. So he ended up cooking, doing it. So don't make other people fulfill your burden. So the in-laws, they're not there for you to use them. They're not there for you to misuse, abuse, or talk down to them. No. Be understanding. Sometimes your in-law, they need your wife. Sometimes they need your husband. Don't say, no, you can't go. It's Christmas. Then you go together. Agree. Okay, this year we go to this family. Next year we go. Agree. If you are peaceful, you can bring peace. Agree, please. Quickly agree. The Bible says even quickly agree with your adversary. So when they bring the issue and the drama, don't be caught in the midst of the drama. If there's a stray bullet, it will go back and hit them. It won't come my way. No way. You lie bad. The bullet won't come my way. You have no cause. Even though it's a stray bullet, it won't hit me. So this is advice to the young millennial, so in love women out there who think that they have to be the one to control everything. No, don't control anything. Watch the dynamic your husband has with his family and respect the dynamic. If your husband doesn't talk to his family and you go and you try to push and be close with them, what will happen is he will also be upset with you. You still respect the family, you encourage him. Your work is more prayer to encourage him to be okay with his family so you can also be okay. If your husband is upset with the family or the wife is fighting, you don't go fight with your husband. Do you hear that? Your husband is fighting his sister. You too, the wife, you want to come and fight. You don't have wisdom. You don't carry wisdom, eh? If you want to come and fight, don't fight their battles for them. If your spouse is fighting their family, you don't go stand behind him. You agree with him, but you let the family, you play neutral, please. Play neutral. Oh, his family has been so abusive when he was growing up. It's not your battle. It's not your battle. Somebody has to be all right. Let your husband be upset. Be correct in the head. So you can deal with the family. Maybe they want to see the children. Maybe they want to, whatever. Everything you do with prayer. Pray over everything. Pray. If you're worried about he's going to go give money and they're going to use the money against him, pray. Please pray now. Pray. Wisdom will teach him what to do. In due time, the Lord will open his eyes. The Lord will open her eyes that the family is the one against the marriage. They will get there. But whatever you do, We don't fight in-laws. If you forget everything, remember, we don't fight in-laws. Set the boundaries, make it clear. If you messed up, fix it now. It's not too late. Fix it. Act like you just met them and start again. Be respectful. Be loving, be caring. Be culturally sensitive. Build any bridge that needs to be bridged. Build it. Mold it. Foster understanding. Have understanding. And in due time, they will come around. They will come around. So I leave you with this. Share the broadcast with someone. Hit the notification bell and let somebody know that we came on today. We'll be on tomorrow talking about marital issues. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I'll be here talking about marital issues. In-laws are a big issue. Please, in-laws don't forgive. Do you hear me? They don't forget what you do and what you say. So please, whatever you do, don't complain, don't fight, don't push things. Just allow them, okay?